For 9211 coming at you with another live video. This one's gonna be a special video. I know I've been adding some content to my channel recently, like 3 4 videos. I think yesterday, and then I might do maybe 1 or 2 today. The reason why is because I've been um, I've been listening to a lot of people what they've been saying, complaining about brick hands, brick decks, and I've been accused several times of lying on my channel about the power of my deck because they don't believe me that it doesn't brick. You know, when people don't believe you about something or they accuse you of a brick deck, for example, it only means one thing: they have a brick deck, or else they wouldn't bring it up. So, because of that, um, I don't have a brick deck, and we're gonna go over a few things about a brick deck, brick hands, brick building, brick master. Um, Hopefully, you learn a thing or two from what I teach you, and then you won't be like everybody else. Also, at the end of the video, um, I'm gonna play a song called "Top of the M." For me, this the it's in Japanese or Korean, I don't remember, but to me, that song is a song of victory for those people who achieve the goal after we go over this video. It's This is designated for the people who are masters at building brick decks and getting brick hands, which sounds like it's a large majority. I am not plagued with that curse because I know how to build a deck. Dark Magician was completed more than 3 years ago and people don't know it. People are still fixing their deck. Every 24 hours, most of the Dark Magician players and overall deck players of Yu-Gi-Oh change their deck again because they don't know how to build their deck, they don't know how to play, and because they're good at building brick decks. Changing your deck too much is a sign of a brick deck. So everyone's guilty of that. My deck is the deck that I've had since 3 years ago. Like I said, it hasn't been changed, same deck. So if I do decide to change it, it'll be a card or two, but only from the side deck, not the main deck. So having that said, like I said, we're gonna go over quickly over brick hands, how to fix them. We're gonna go over some memes, make a few jokes here and there, move along. Then at the end, we're gonna have a song of victory. It's called the Top of the M. The M stands for masters. Masters of what? Masters of brick hands, masters of brick decks, which means we don't have that. Even if we were to have a brick hand, you're a master of it, so it doesn't affect you, and you get a top tier hand. Some people call a god hand, but I just call it top tier. So let's begin. Enough chit chat. If you look at this video, you'll see a brick wall and it has some eyes. That's what a lot of people's deck looks like because the top card on their deck is a monster. So that's what the deck looks like. This is what some people's deck look like after they remove a card. The next card that's next is a brick monster. This one's a deck of the weather of a person's deck, like what is the weather throughout the week, the climate. And if you see Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the list goes on forever, it's mostly bricky. Even at night it's brick. Um, Wednesday, Thursday, just a bunch of bricks. Then, to be honest with you, people, talk really nice about Blue Eyes White Dragon and a lot of decks, but in reality, if you pay attention closely to their cards, they say take a level 8 or 9 or whatever level the Blue Eyes White Dragon is. I think it's an 8. It says take one of those and shuffle it to the deck and then draw two cards. And the reason for that is because the deck is a brick. That's why that card is there. But they deny it. But Blue Eyes White Dragon is a brick. So is a lot of other decks. You know, people accuse for such the longest time the Monarch decks of being bricks. To be honest with you, I've dueled some Monarch decks that even I would say it's like a Monarch deck from hell. Like it just it blew and it destroyed me. Um, so it just depends on the build. There's some high potential decks. It just depends on the skills of the builder. Because a lot of times when you're dueling against someone, he's not really a duelist, like a Yu-Gi-Oh duelist. He's more a construction worker because I'll explain later what that means. And then, you know, this is a lot of the decks. The card representing a deck, you know, um, and basically, like if a card has a moon roof, you know, they open it and you can fit so many bricks inside of it, and then you do that deck. So when you do those decks, it's just a bunch of bricks. Um, it's the real truth. Then this is Ralph from The Simpsons. You know, you have a brick deck, and this is what their appearance is, even though they might not look the same. They get their life points depleted, and they don't know why. They're wondering why, if their deck is invincible, why, if they're smart, why, if their deck is the best deck ever, why, if they're the best Dark Magician player. And all of these people come to my channel, and you know, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people like Yami Yugi, Magic Libra. I got Job, chapter 28. I forget the other good friend of mine that plays Dark Magician too. He mainly play. His picture is for Mahad, and there's about 6 or 7 other more players, and they're advanced, man. They're even better players than I am. Um, but I'm talking about the people who are negative. They come to my channel being negative, and to be honest with you, that is a sign that they suffer from losses from brick hands. That's why they hate me so much. They hate my deck. Then you have hands like these, where it's basically a brick. Nothing you have will help you. You're at a standstill. Any monsters are gonna get removed from play. Um, they never learn. They're not supposed to be taught. You need those players so you can crush them. Think about it. Imagine if there was no Yu-Gi-Oh players that were bad. Then in that case, you would be the one that would suck because everyone else is a top player except you. But the way the world works is someone has to suck so that you are better than him. And if you suck, you have to suck so that someone's better than you. Whether it is in life or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. Um, Even at your job, you know, you might be second rate, or you might get fired. You need to suck at your job so that someone can replace you. And then the other route is you need to get fired so that somebody else gets hired. And it could go vice versa. Somebody else needs to suck so that you can take their place, or someone needs to get fired so that you can get hired. Everything that exists works that same way. It's very simple, you just don't understand the simplicity. And also, this another brick hand. You know, a lot of the supposable platinum or top tier one players that are mostly all liars, They tell you Called by the Grave, Maxi, and Hand Traps, they're the best cards ever. The moment they open their mouth to say that, which is like 99.9, that covers everyone. Even if you're watching this video, the chances of you being in that position, it's you're basically fall under that category, right? Everyone plays Called by the Grave. Everyone plays Hand Traps, right? Go onto every deck and they all do it. I never liked any of them. I never played any of them. I never needed them, and I destroy everything. And what they hide from you is that this hand that you see here, scratch the warrior monster, scratch him, but they get 3 Ash Blossoms, Maxi, um, and a Called by. It does nothing. None of them do nothing. The only time that they work is when they're playing against like a top tier deck that's doing way too much stuff. Then they can trigger it. But overall, they're just worthless cards and they break. But they lie to you. So they'll post the deck like it's the best deck in the world, and you listen to him. Instead of listening to me, you listen to them, to the popular ones, the people who have 1 million followers. You listen to them, you make their deck, and guess what? You suck. You suck just like they do. You get brick hands just like they do. But the difference between me and them is they lie to you. I don't. So then you fall under their trap, and then you're confused. Then you come to me, and then you don't believe me anyway. So Blue Eyes Brick Dragon. Once per turn, you can shuffle back your hand to the deck, then add 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to your hand. So you see, it's just a recurring thing. When people watch you duel or people sit down to duel, it's similar to like a brick couch. Just everybody's sitting on a brick couch. Um, it's just pointless. This is symbolism of some of the people's decks, some of the people's deck life, the deck experience. You know, if anybody's watching you duel or dueling against you, it's kind of sitting on a brick, the whole family, all of your friends, and you move forward. This is a single player. He's just sitting on a brick deck. um, it sucks, but you know that player tells me that I suck, that my deck's a brick. I don't. You notice I don't cry about anything. There's no complaints. I just destroy everything. Brick hands are not. None of those things matter to me. The brick hands to me, I just turn them into top tier plays and destroy my opponent. But these people, you know, they're sitting in a single deck, brick deck, crying and complaining, and then here's a card, you know, a brick. Throw a brick at your opponent. If they're knocked out, you win the duel. So they wish they had this card because they play so many brick cards, brick decks. Um, you know, this is a similar picture of what their deck represents the bottom, and then their hand is on the top. So basically, their hand is all the cards on the top because they played Max C, and then their deck on the bottom is the bricks. So basically, no matter what, everything's a brick. They suck. Their deck sucks. And then they come to my channel and they hate on me. And then this is a lot of people's decks. You know, to them, their deck is the most powerful. No one can beat them. And this is what it really is. It's just a bunch of bricks. That's why their channels are empty, going against the negations, and they will never have any negation videos. If they do, they robbed it from someone else's channel, but it's not them. I already know. Um, and they come to my channel and they get angry. That's why they're not even able to beat YSC champion decks, and then they come to my channel and get mad because I can, and then they hold their deck in their hand and it's really just a brick. So I'm gonna go over some solutions. Uh, the first one is some of the cards that say discard. What they do is in the Dark Magician deck specifically, because that's what I mastered. That's where my specialty is. Like Apprentice Illusion or Twin Twister, any card that says discard, Dragoon, the Invoked Engine, you discard a card, you can negate a card. All of those cards, what they do is they take a brick and they turn it into a negation. They take a brick because it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how much of a brick the card is. It's irrelevant. All that matters is that it's a card. So it takes it and it makes it live because it triggers it to discard the brick. Then it triggers its effect. And then when your card lands in the graveyard, it makes all your other cards live. This is why I said it doesn't matter if you have a god hand or top tier hand, how I call it. Your opponent can use hand traps and they can turn a top tier hand or what you call a god hand and they can turn it into a brick hand. This is why Dark Magician players can't play. Or they come to my channel and cry saying that my deck sucks, that I have bricks, and I don't. I win against every deck, never complained, never cried about a brick hand, and it's been more than 2 years. They're the ones crying. So if you were wise and paying attention to me, you shut up and pay attention to what I'm telling you. I'm telling you how to fix your problem. You have a brick hand, you have to be able to unbreak. If you have a good hand and they hand trap you and your good hand turn into a brick hand, you have to be able to unbreak. Okay? So you want to make most of your cards live. When you play in a local tournament with real cards, most of the people don't even have the cards. So some of the people do. So guess what? Don't play cards like Gallo Tamayas. Why? Because it's a brick card. So then they question me, well, why do you play it on the game? Because the game is an AI, or artificial intelligence. The percentage of it being random is at 100%. So the possibility of you not drawing it is high, and then drawing it when you need it is high, because it'll give it to you randomly. But if you try to play that at your locals in real life, it's not gonna work. First of all, because you're not an AI, the shuffling's gonna suck. The card's gonna come out when you don't need it. So when you play in real life, you need all of them to be live, no brick hands. Brick cards, brick hands. When you play online, you can add one brick. And people tell you, what about the other bricks, like Dark Magician, bro? Well, that is actually your fault because you suck at playing Dark Magician and you don't know how to play it. So there's nothing anybody can do to help you. You have to stop playing Dark Magician and play another deck. Now there's another group that know how to play it, but they break. All you have to know is correct sequence. So I covered a few things, made fun of a few decks, all in due fun. Like I said, I don't cater feelings. I'm not your dad, I'm not your mom, I'm not your wife, not your girlfriend. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm just here to tell you the truth and destroy your brick hands, destroy your brick decks, make you a better Yu-Gi-Oh player. Now, as I promised, I'm gonna play the song from start to beginning. Hopefully you enjoy it. The whole time think about transcending where you are and going to the next level in Yu-Gi-Oh. The song is called Top of the M. What does the M stand for me? Masters. Masters of what? Masters of your deck. Masters of brick hand. Masters of brick decks. Which means you're superior. So here we go. Hopefully you enjoy and take it to your heart of the Yugi player. So, all jokes to the side, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Uh, I hope you become a better duelist. And with that having said, Dark Magic Attack.